The American retirement playbook has a very specific finish line. You hit age 65, you pay off the mortgage, and consider housing a solved problem. You own the home free and clear, so the logic suggests it costs you nothing to stay. But the standard retirement brochure omits the math of 2025. Today, the average American homeowner spends between $14,000 and $20,000 per year just to maintain a home with no mortgage. Property taxes, insurance, and the water heater that doesn't care you're on a fixed income create a baseline cost of over $1,000 a month. A specific escalating threat called tax-induced displacement makes this worse. Property tax assessments follow home values up, but they do not follow a retiree's income down. As your home appreciates, your county reassesses, and the bill rises. Social Security cost of living adjustments were never designed to keep pace with a local tax bill that has tripled since you bought the house. This drain on monthly cash flow creates an opportunity cost that compounds over decades. In a few minutes, we're going to model a 20-year scenario to see exactly how wide the wealth gap grows when we compare trapped equity to a liquid investment portfolio. Relying on housing advice from 1985 in 2026 creates a significant financial weight. It turns a prized asset into a hidden liability that steadily consumes your liquid savings. Let's establish our baseline. Consider a 63-year-old retiree living in a paid-off home worth $480,000. She pays roughly $12,000 a year in taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Despite having no mortgage, she is barely breaking even each month, slowly depleting her 401k to pay the invoices the house keeps sending. Now, consider the alternative. She sells the house, netting $451,000 after transaction costs. She rents a comparable apartment and invests those proceeds into a diversified index fund. This chart compares the stagnation of trapped equity against the growth of working money. While inflation-adjusted home prices historically grow less than 1% per year, the top line shows invested equity compounding at a conservative 7% real return, reaching approximately $1.74 million. Even accounting for rent, the gap remains. Factoring in $144,000 in rental costs over 2 decades, her portfolio ends at $1.6 million. Compared to the $600,000 real value of staying in the house, the renter's path yields a wealth advantage over $1 million. This map shows the current price-to-rent ratio. Historically, a ratio above 20 suggests renting offers better financial value. In 2025, that ratio exceeds 35 in San Jose, 28 in Miami, and 26 in Austin. 47 of the 50 largest metros now favor renting. Your home equity is sleeping money. It sits inside your walls, ring exactly 0%, while generating maintenance bills. Working money, liquid invested capital, easily outpaces the threat of rental inflation, turning a stagnant asset into a retirement funding engine. If the math is this clear, we have to ask why so many smart, rational people refuse to sell. Consider a retired engineer who ran the numbers on everything for 40 years, but stays in a house that is actively draining his savings. Ownership changes perception through a bias called the endowment effect. We place a higher value on things simply because we own them. Selling a family home where you built an identity for 3 decades often triggers a psychological response similar to grief. The sunk cost fallacy makes those anchors even heavier. Every new roof or kitchen remodel feels like an investment you'd be throwing away if you left. While those costs are economically gone, they create emotional friction that prevents a rational exit. We focus on the perceived risk of a landlord raising the rent, but we ignore the daily risk of illiquidity. Being house-rich often prevents retirees from paying for medical care or moving closer to family because their wealth is frozen in an asset they cannot easily tap. These blind spots produce retirees who are asset-rich but experience-poor. They sit next to a sleeping fortune while their quality of life erodes because they feel they lack the psychological permission to access their own wealth. If renting is so much more efficient, why does almost every piece of financial advice tell you to hold on to your home at all costs? Because a trillion-dollar industry relies on you holding that deed. Mortgage lenders, real estate agents, and insurers profit from the transaction volume. They are rational actors operating in their own interest, and their interest requires you to keep buying and maintaining property. Compare that to the alternative. If you move your equity into a total market index fund, the provider might charge you 0.03% a year. There is no commission for an industry to collect when you choose to leave your money alone and let it compound. The claim that renting is throwing money away is a curated narrative. It is propagated by the exact industries that profit most from your decision to hold on to an illiquid asset. It's time to reframe renting in retirement. It isn't a compromise, it's a liquidity advantage. It provides the optionality to move closer to grandchildren or a better healthcare system without the friction of a 6-month real estate transaction. Your first step is to calculate the true cost of staying. Tally your specific property taxes, your insurance renewal, and your average maintenance costs over the last 5 years. Compare that hard number against the cost of a local rental. Second, if you decide to sell, you must have a deployment plan. The full proceeds should be invested within days of closing. If that capital sits in a checking account for months, it's still sleeping money. It just moved to a different bed. Finally, if ownership remains the right choice for you, you must restructure how you think about the costs. Stop treating property taxes and maintenance as surprises. Fund a maintenance reserve monthly, just like a bill, because the house is a liability that requires constant capital. The next time someone tells you renting is a waste, ask them to calculate their property taxes against what their equity could have earned in a simple index fund. True retirement freedom doesn't come from owning a deed. It comes from liquid, working money.